As this car behind me thinks I'm fucking crazy.
Back from the dead.
The fuck is this? The traffic lights are out. Awesome. Yo, what is up? Sexy Mr. Mustard right here. Not even knowing if my audio is clipping. I do know I need to pull in some of my mic cord. So I'm testing out a new setup right now. That's alright, you wait on me. So, basically guys, this is a test vlog. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm throwing this up, because this audio might sound like complete shit, or it might be clipping like crazy. And I will tell you, while I'm changing, or attempting to change my setup, as you might can see in my shadow on the ground there, I've got a camera on top of my head. And that camera is the GoPro Hero Session. Now, I know there's a lot of, not misinformation, but there's a lot of confusion about this camera as far as why the fuck would you buy this camera over the other GoPros. So when this camera first came out, it was $400, which for $100 more you can get a GoPro Hero Black, or you can get your GoPro Hero Silver. I think the 4 Silver is $399, and this camera doesn't really have, look at that craziness. So this camera really doesn't have as good a quality as a GoPro Hero 4 Silver, from what I understand. But I think GoPro saw that these things weren't selling too terribly well, and they dropped them down to $199, which in my opinion, even though this camera doesn't have an audio in, it has some cool features as far as the dual microphones on it and stuff, which is why y'all can hear me when I'm riding my dirt bike, because I don't have a mic connected to it. But what I'm testing here is a session. Well, let me back up. I got my wife got me this session for Christmas, because when it dropped to $199, I was like, I'd like to give it a try just for another camera. Because if y'all don't know, I'm a Drift user. I use the I have a Drift Ghost and a Ghost S. And just to be fairly honest, even the Ghost S is getting long in the tooth, and I don't think that the one that they just released, which is like a little tiny micro one, basically, as far as from the time of me making this video, Drift has not made any strides in releasing a camera to replace the Ghost S. So basically, I don't even think the Ghost S has as good a video quality as the older, Hero Black Edition and shit. So, the only reason I bought that camera, that fucker's expensive. That thing's $399 normally, and I think it's still priced at $399. I found on eBay, somebody had found a lot of them in a warehouse or whatever, and I got mine for $249. That's the only reason I bought a second camera. So anyways, got the session for Christmas, and it has a lot of cool advantages. I love the form factor of it, even though if you measure it really by volume, it's really not that much smaller than the other GoPro, even though it looks it. It's kind of like an optical illusion, because it's a lot deeper, but it's not as wide. But that really helps. That's why I liked the Drift cameras, is they didn't provide much wind resistance, and I didn't have a huge GoPro sitting on the side of my helmet, even though now I've got a little black stealth looking fucker on top of my helmet. It looks like a little cube. I mean, it's cool. I really like it. And I love the mounting system, how it doesn't require a case. And I know they make the frame for the Hero, whatever, any of the Heroes, but I think it's really cool because it just has that little frame thing you just slip it in and clamp it into. And it's tiny, and it's like I have, two of my, and it came with two of them. So I've got a mount for my dirt helmet, and I've got a mount with my my other one for my street helmet, which I got right here. So basically, once I have my mount set up, I can just slip the camera in and out of the frames and, you know, go about my business. I've also got, in the new Tacoma, they got that stupid gimmick where you've got a GoPro mount built into the windshield. So I've got one sitting there that I can slip it into just to look like a fucking fuckboy. But, yeah, it's fucking cool. I mean, it's a cool form factor. I hate that it doesn't have a mic input, because that leaves it off of a lot of moto vloggers lists if it doesn't have a mic input. It has a USB input, but it will not work with the mic adapter. I just happen to have one, and sadly, the video quality is better. It's a trade-off. The video quality, I can tell, is actually significantly better than the Ghost S, but it's a lot better than the Ghost. But it's better than the Ghost S. And the only thing that I can tell might be a little bit worse about it is quick movements like that. It's been actually many months since I have ridden on 25. I'm on 25 now. I've kind of missed it. This bike hasn't gotten ridden that much because I got my KTM, and I've actually been, you know, getting real into dirt riding. Even though I love to ride the street too. And, you know, every time you get on one or the other, you're like, well, anytime I get on a dirt bike, I'm like, you know, this is awesome. I mean, it's so physical, and it's a great workout, and it's a lot of fun and accomplishing versus, you know, riding a street bike. Because a lot of the stuff you do on the street, I mean, you can't practice. I mean, you can illegally, but you can't really just be like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go break the law. And, you know, there's traffic in the street. I mean, I can go as fast as I want to in the woods. So yeah, I'm just experimenting with a new vlogging setup. I've got a Zoom H1 mic that is hooked to the lavalier mic that you can get from Drift. So what I've done is I've routed it through the headphone port in my jacket, and I've got it run into my helmet with a piece of industrial Velcro so that I can take it off and let it dangle when I'm not using it. And so, you know, you have to sync audio, but really syncing audio is not that hard, especially in Final Cut Pro. And it'll actually do it for you fairly reliably, but that's just not my style. I'd rather get it perfect. Damn, somebody's already shot the signs. If any of y'all have never been to Alabama or the South, we shoot our road signs, and I never understand why, but we shoot our road signs. And there's an RC51. Whoa, supermoto, that motherfucker was flying. Smells like a supermoto. You can smell it all the way down the hill. I'm gonna let this guy go around me on this straight. I'm just out cruising, man. There's a fucking train. Long story short, those trains, sometimes they make loud goddamn squeak noises, and I heard it and I thought a UFO was trying to get me while I was on this road. Look how pretty this is. And now it's, you know, the fucking, what you call it, starting to bloom and shit. The trees. Yeah, whatever those fucking green things are. They're trees. Oh, and also you'll notice the view's different because it's on the top of my head. And I'm filming in 30 frames per second. So don't be waiting for that 60p up. These looks like two people arguing. What the fuck are they arguing about? Guarantee you it is not something legal. Because they keep both reaching for the center console. It's like somebody dropped a fucking blunt. Did you drop the blunt? How do I blunt? How do blunt? Well guys, to end this, unless nothing else exciting happens, like these people finally find their blunt in front of me, I am going to the Atlanta Motovlogger meetup this year. I've got to spend more goddamn money and buy a moto tote for a sport bike, because I'm not riding this naked motorcycle all the way to Atlanta. Nor probably would my wife let me. So, just to throw that shit out there, you know, we're all controlled by the women.